Hi, guys and gals. Al Smith here. Today we're going to talk about the Leaping Michaels qubit convention. Okay, the Leaping Michaels is an extension of Michaels qubit. It works much the same way, except it gives you more preemptive oomph. It gives you the capability of bidding at the 4 level to really preempt the partner or to create a forcing um, uh, bidding situation. Okay, it's used after a week 2 of 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, or 2 spades, and 3 club preempts. This is the only time that it gets used. And it's used most often in the direct seat, but sometimes it's useful in the balancing seat. So if the bidding is two diamonds, the direct seat is the seat immediately behind the 2 diamond bidder. It's also used most frequently in the 3rd and the 4th seat. The reason for this is that your partner is already passed, and you know that they couldn't open or they couldn't preempt in a suit. So it gives you a little bit more latitude, especially when you have a very distributional hand in pushing the opponents around and trying to find a place to sacrifice, or if you've got a strong hand, creating a game forcing situation. All right, and it generally shows 2 suited hands with 5+ cards in each suit. It's pretty dangerous to do it with less than 5 cards because you're actually forcing the bid to the 4 level. Okay, and it's used really in 2 situations where you want to create a game forcing bidding situation, or where you've got, I'm going to call it a strong, weak hand, and you want to obstruct the bidding. Okay, one of the things that I enjoy most is obstructing the bidding. So, and in this case, it's got, in these 2 cases, one, you've got a planned sacrifice. And if by chance your partner's got the right values, you'll probably even make the contract. Because remember, a very distributional hand, shape is everything. Okay, let's look at the Leaping Michaels bids. Okay, and we're going to look at 3 clubs first. Okay, 3 clubs. The opponent opens 3 clubs. Okay, the Leaping Michaels bid is 4 clubs. It's not leaping here, but it's still part of the convention. And the 4 clubs says, hey, partner, I've got 5+ hearts and 5+ spades. Now, this works just the same way as the regular Michaels convention does. 1 club, 2 clubs says, hey, I've got 5+ hearts and 5+ spades. So you can see the similarity here. Structure is pretty much the same. Now, here's where we diverge a little bit. Okay, 3 clubs, 4 diamonds. Now, this is a leap because we could have bid 3 diamonds. Okay, so 4 diamonds says, hey, I've got 5+ diamonds and 5+ cards in one of the majors. It's unknown. It becomes a key feature within this convention. Okay, let's look at 2 diamonds. We're going to revert back to the 2 level, to the weak 2s. 2 diamonds, 4 clubs, just like you see it here. 3 clubs, 4 diamonds, 2 diamonds, 4 clubs, 5+ clubs, and 5 cards in an unknown major. 4 diamonds says, I've got both majors. Let's look at after the week 2 heart bid. Okay, 4 clubs says, I've got 5+ clubs, because now you're naming the suit that you've got 5+ cards in, and 5+ cards in the unbid major. That's really critical. So you can see how that's worked out. 4 diamonds, exactly the same way. I got 5+ in the diamonds this time. Okay, same structure with respect to spades. So you can see that we can describe all sorts of hands, 2 suited hands with 5+ cards in each suit. The only thing that's missing in here is being able to show a hand with 5+ clubs and 5+ diamonds. That's where Leaping Unusual No Trump comes in. It's the complementing convention to the Leaping Michaels. All right, let's talk a little bit about what the advancer is going to do after the Overcaller makes a Leaping Michaels bid. All right, now, there's 3 different situations where both majors have been indicated, 1 minor and 1 known major, and 1 minor and an unknown major. So let's just take a look at what the advancer is going to do. If both major, if the leaping Michael's bid has indicated that the overcaller has both majors. Pretty easy. Okay, but the advance is going to do is going to pick his best major suit and bid for that suit, and that's going to be a game sign-off. Now, just a little bit of note here. Let's say that the bidding is 1 club, 3 clubs, 4 clubs. Says I've got 5 plus hearts and 5 plus spades. If you've got 3 hearts and 3 spades, bid hearts. That way that you've got that you've got at least an 8-card bid in each one of the majors. Okay, and if perchance you need to run somewhere, okay, well, who knows? You might get doubled, you might feel a little uncomfortable, whatever. You can always bid for spades. Okay, so it gives you just that little bit of extra edge of an alternative of what you might do if you get into a hairy situation. So now, if you want to explore slam, for example, it was 1 club, 4 clubs, okay, and you've got a super big hand sitting there in 4th seat, okay, or something that really fits together nicely, you can explore slam by bidding Blackwood because you know where you're going to place the contract later on. You're the captain. Okay, now we've got the situation where the leaping Michael's bid shows a minor, so you know what that is, and 1 major, a known major. So this is pretty easy too. If you like the minor better, and you don't want to have any game interest, you're just going to pass. If you like the minor and you got game interest, you're going to bid 5 of the minor. Cool. Okay, now, if you don't like the minor, bid 4 of the known major. And if you're super strong and want to investigate slam, bid 4 no trump for Blackwood. Okay, notice we're using Blackwood here because we haven't had any suit agreement. All right, now let's look at the situation where we've got an unknown major. So we know what the minor is, but we don't know what the major is. What are we going to do? Well, it's pretty easy. We like the minor, we can sign off, or we can bid game. Now, if we don't like the minor, but we don't know what the major is, what we're going to do is bid the lowest major. We're going to bid 4 hearts. This is a temporizing bid for asking the overcaller, what's your major? Okay, if it was hearts, he's going to pass. If it's spades, he's going to bid 4 spades. Pretty simple. Okay, let's look at a couple examples here. In this first example, notice I've got in here, we've got the vulnerability. We've got vulnerable versus the opponent's being vulnerable. We've got 1 club being bid. We're in the direct seat behind it, and this is the overcaller's hand. Okay, pretty interesting hand. We've got 6 spades and 6 hearts. Yeah, pretty unusual, but these do occur. But it's a pretty crappy hand, too. We only got 4 points, but we got really super distribution here. Now we want to really value, analyze this hand based upon its trick taking ability. So what we're going to do is analyze it using 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to take 7, which is the base, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losers. 6 minus 7 is 1. Because a V factor is 3 because of equal vulnerabilities. We can bid to the 4 level. Hey, we can bid to the 4 level. Now, do we want to let these guys communicate with each other? I don't think so. Yeah, they're vulnerable. Okay. Likelihood is if we've got some type of match here, we might even make game. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to really get in their face and obstruct their bidding by bidding 4 clubs. Leaping Miles. It says, hey, partner, I've got 5 plus spades and 5 plus hearts, and I'm strong enough to be able to bid safely at the 4 level vulnerable. Okay, now what are the opponents going to do? Well, they can take a shot in the dark and say, well, my partner really had real clubs and bid 5 clubs or bid 5. Who knows what they're going to do? Okay, but you've got a super hand, you've obstructed the opponents, and if your partner's got let's say 6 points, the ace of spades and the queen of hearts, guess what? You're probably going to make this contract. Cool. Let's look at another example. Okay, in this one we've got a strong hand. Notice in this first one, got a weak hand. And this one, we got a strong hand. Nice shape again. We're 6-6 again. Now, The opponent, we've got pass, pass. The third person opponent, third seat bids three clubs. You're in fourth seat. What are you going to do? Well, most people say, well, I'm going to bid three spades, and then I'm planning to bid four hearts. Well, or I'm going to double, and then what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to bid spades or hearts. How am I going to show both of those suits? How can I create a game-forcing auction? Well, Leaping Michaels to the rescue. Okay, what we can do here, if we evaluate it 2, 3, 4, we can bid all the way to 5 level. Okay, we're safe. Okay, so we've got 5 hearts and 5 spades. Actually, we're 6, 6 here in the example. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to bid 4 clubs again, just like in this other hand. Okay, now what this does is creates a game-forcing auction. Our partner is going to bid their best major, and we're really happy. Now, since they passed before, okay, they could have the right values for slam, but they might not. The probability is not as high. If this occurred, 3 clubs had been occurred in the second seat, it would be a little bit more of an unknown of what our partner has, but our partners have denied having an opening bid. So what we're going to do, they're going to bid 4 hearts and 4 spades. And unless we're really, because we could bid 5 diamonds to show the void, first round control, and see if our partner came back and show us a control. But it's a little bit dicey. So we're probably going to take the 4 heart or the 4 heart spade bid and take that to the bank and run. It's very difficult sometimes, especially after a preempt, to describe a 2-suited hand. And what the Leaping Michaels does here is gives us a capability of guaranteeing that we're going to get the game and we're going to be in the right suit. Let's look at example number 3 here. Okay, in this one, we're both not vulnerable, but it's not vulnerable. So the V factor is going to be equal to 3, and the opponent opened 2 hearts. Well, we've got a strong hand again. Okay, what are we going to do here? Well, should we use Leaping Michaels? Well, we do have 5 clubs and 5 spades. Now, let's take a look at this. We're really strong. Look at it from 2, 3, 4. It says we can bid all the way to the 7 level. Okay, we do have that. So what we're going to do, we're not going to use Leaping Michaels here. We're going to double. Okay, now, if our partner bids hearts, I mean, we can double, then we can Q bid to show an extremely strong hand. We're going to end up in game somewhere. Okay. Now another alternative is we could bid 3 hearts as the Western Q bid, asking our partner to bid 3 no trump with a blocker and hearts. But that one gets a little bit dicey too, because they might have one blocker. We might not be able to control the hand. So what we're going to do here is double and ask our partner what they've got. We don't want to use Leaping Michaels here because we're just too strong. And, while we've got the right shape, it's not as good as these other shapes. Okay. So we've got better alternatives. So the real challenge with Leaping Michaels is knowing when to use it, when to use the other alternative bids that you have available to you. All right, now let's take a quick look at some of the advancer options where our partner has used Leaping Michaels. In this one, we're vulnerable versus vulnerable. Now, when we're the advancer, we ignore 2, 3, 4 because our partner has already told us that they're strong enough to make the bid that they've made at that level. So we've got this situation here where we've got the opponent open a club, our partner bid 4 clubs, and the second opponent passed. Now it's our bid. Now, what do we know? We know that our partner has got 5 hearts and 5 spades. This is a no-brainer. Okay, we've got a really nice hand here, actually. Okay, but we know we have 10 spades between us. Now, we don't know if he's got this hand up here, number 1, or this hand up here, number 2. Okay, so kind of in a quandary. I mean, we in essence, we really don't have, we've got that ace of clubs, so, this hard. Okay, this is hard. Do we bid 4 no trump to investigate slam? No. Do we bid 4 spades and sign off and take our money and run? I don't know. I'm kind of, if you're way behind and you need a good score, bid 4, no trump. Otherwise, bid 4 spades. That's where 90% of the field's going to be. You really can't get hurt by bidding 4 spades. All right. Let's take a look at hand number 5. In this one, the opponent opened 2 preemptive with 2 hearts, and our partner bid 4 clubs. What does 4 clubs mean? It says he's got 5 plus clubs and 5 plus spades. All right, so we've got 3 clubs and 3 spades. We know we're going to bid. Now, which one do we want to bid? Okay, do we want to bid 4? Do we want to pass and leave the contract in clubs, or do we want to bid 4 spades? Well, we want to bid 4 spades. Okay, because we've got 3 spades, we want to bid 4 spades. Okay, why? Because spades gives us a better score. It's a game. 4 clubs is a partial. I'd much rather have 420, or in this case, we're vulnerable 620 versus 130. Okay, so it's a no-brainer, bid 4 spades. In example number 6, okay, we've got vulnerable versus not vulnerable. Our partner with 2 clubs, 4 clubs, 2 diamonds, 4 clubs. What's that thing? What it says is our partner says, I got 5 plus clubs and 5 plus an unknown major. Wonder which one it is. Is it hearts or is it spades? Well, we don't really like clubs, so what we're going to do is we're going to bid 4 hearts. It's a temporizing bid. It says, hey, partner, you tell me what major you've got. If he's got hearts, he's going to pass. If he's got spades, he's going to bid 4 spades. We don't care. We just want to be in the right suit. And our partner, the Michael's cube, leaping cube bidder, is going to put us there. Okay. So that basically concludes the lesson on leaping Michaels. The real challenge with leaping Michaels, pretty simple to remember, is when to use it. Got to make that bridge judgment as to what's the right time to do it in the right situation and evaluate the pluses and the minuses. Okay, so I hope you have a great day, and it doesn't come up all that often, but when it does, it's worth knowing.